Good. So as I mentioned on the bus, there's two spirits that have really been known to occupy the space that have had multiple reports about them being here in the cemetery. First and foremost, I'll point out that that building right on down there is the T-Dot building. So for those of us who live in Tuscaloosa, that is Tuscaloosa Department of Transportation. But the T-Dot workers are going to be the people who are providing a good portion of the evidence or a lot of the testimony regarding these two spirits. Again, both of them are going to be young females, little girls, who are going to be occupying the cemetery. The first one is Miss Virginia Summers. She was around 12 years old when she passed away. Rumor has it that back in the day when she was a young child, she had just gotten a pony for her birthday, and it was her top desire to go and ride her pony into town and watch the soldiers march on off up through the town square. But her parents were having absolutely none of it. They said, "You're much too young, you cannot go on your pony by yourself." But as any 12-year-old girl would do, she defied her parents' wishes and took her pony into town. Now little did she know that there was a little bit of a scuffle going on down by the riverbank of back at the Black Warrior River, and shots were fired. It spooked her pony. He stood up on his hind legs, bucked a little bit, and she ended up falling off and hitting the back of her head on the cobblestone streets in downtown Tuscaloosa. That was, of course, before it was all up and developed. It was much more I guess you could say simple back then, but nonetheless she didn't die immediately. She was taken back to her home where she passed away a few years later. She was buried right on over in that area of the cemetery, although it is completely sort of unknown as to exactly where. Her headstone was unmarked, as a lot of them were back at that point in time, especially for younger children. But it is said that she occupies that area of the cemetery. Now when people have reported seeing her, they've reported seeing a girl, again about the age of 12 years old or so, in period dress, playing hide and go seek amongst the different headstones. And then the second little girl that we're going to be talking about who does occupy the cemetery, her name is Abby Snow. She was much younger than Virginia. She was only around 18 months old when she passed away. Now back then, again, the cholera was a big epidemic, and she unfortunately passed away from that disease. Now her gravestone is right on over there through that little pathway, or that hedgeway. Now it is known that to be her because people have reported hearing babies crying, and the only child that's of that age who has been buried in the cemetery is Miss Abby, and she's all the way over there. People have come and left blankets, toys, rattles, and things like that for her over on her gravestone, which actually is marked over on that side of the cemetery. And another important headstone over on that ways as well is Dr. Drish's headstone. So again, we started our tour today inside the Drish house. Dr. Drish's cemetery, or excuse me, his headstone is over there. Now it was not really all that well done when it was originally planted, so part of the funds from this tour go to restoring that headstone. He was actually buried behind his gravestone, and normally you're buried in front. So a lot of the funds that have been raised from these tours have been put to sort of restoring his headstone in his final resting area here in the Greenwood Cemetery. One of the creepiest things that's ever happened to any of us while on a tour here in the cemetery was not too long ago. A couple of kids were in here while we were doing the tour, and we were shining our flashlight over on this side of the cemetery to point something out, and we saw them. They screamed, we screamed. They were playing Pokemon Go. They were trying to catch Pokemon inside the cemetery. So that's probably the spookiest thing that's ever happened to any of us on the tour. So if you are still playing Pokemon Go, although I don't think many people are nowadays, this is apparently a great place to catch some Pokemon. But do we have any questions about the Greenwood Cemetery?
But the stories of them seeing this little girl playing, they're all seen during the day.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are not working at night. So, and the stories have been happening for decades and decades. And that's how we figured out who we think that is. And all these stories that you're going to hear tonight are in David's book. It's called The Gambling Jack. And it's called
We're going to head back onto the trolley.